Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce many different revelations as well as twists and turns in this story by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is going to provide a lot of surprises that's really going to change how we view the past 8 Star Wars films in a different light by JJ, Chris, and George Lucas, and what they really plan to do to utilize this movie, especially with the character of Palpatine, Kylo Ren, and a whole lot more in this movie, that's really going to change Star Wars lore and the entire franchise forever. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions and one of the set leaks, this is where things begin to get very intense between both Kylo, Palpatine, and even Anakin Skywalker. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of Kylo Ren sitting inside of a dark temple, whereas Knights of Ren are guarding the doorway outside, where it's described that Kylo is holding Palpatine's holocron that is said to contain many dark secrets and thoughts of Sidious that were stored in here so long ago. It's described that one of the scenes that were filmed over in Cardington back in December of 2018 involved a scene that would be used for a vision sequence where Kylo is said to see a certain truth about Palpatine and Anakin, where the scene that was filmed involved Ian McDiarmid dressed as Palpatine, just as he appeared in the prequels with the black robe. However, where he is said to be hovering his hands over Shmi Skywalker, where she appears to be pregnant in the very brief scene that is said to be a recreation of a moment from the popular Darth Vader comics in 2018. Though it's said that the recreation of Shmi is obscured, her face is not shown and is actually said to have some kind of smoke around both Palpatine and Shmi, blocking her face where Palpatine, however, can be seen. It's said that JJ wanted to use this vision as a way to show unexpected connections between both Sidious and Anakin that will cause Kylo to become very confused midway through the film. So let's go over a couple of parts about this and why this is really interesting, because we do know that Episode 9 is going to borrow a lot of elements from the EU/Legends, as well as canon material that falls under Disney and Lucasfilm when we're talking about books, novels, comics, you name it. Now, that's the strong point of Episode 9, in my opinion, is that a lot of things that we saw and a lot of things that we have been reading in the comics and the books for these past couple of years, give or take, are actually going to have a big connection in The Rise of Skywalker. So this by far is the biggest hint that Anakin Skywalker is indeed the son of Darth Sidious/Palpatine, or vice versa. Palpatine is the father of Anakin. Which, by the way, in case you guys did not know, was George Lucas and his original vision of Revenge of the Sith of revealing this in Episode 3 that was ultimately scrapped. And on top of all of this, we do know that George Lucas created a big revelation between both Anakin and Palpatine in the second act of Episode 9 that will take fans by surprise, and with this as an addition, it really does add all up. So this specific sequence was actually said to be filmed back in December of last year, not too long ago, over at Cardington, where they had Ian McDiarmid involved in a very brief scene. We're probably talking underneath a minute here, nothing long at all, where there is a actress that played the character of Shmi Skywalker. However, the character of Shmi is very obscured. You don't see her face, you don't really see, exactly who she is, because you gotta, kind of guess exactly what her face looks like. But it is Shmi Skywalker by the costume design and its name. So, in this particular scenario, it said that Shmi is pregnant in the shot, while Kylo Ren is holding Darth Sidious and his holocron that contains many of his thoughts from many years ago. And what I like about this is that this is JJ's way of tapping into the comics of Darth Vader. The last issue of the last set of comics of Darth Vader in 2018 featured, of course, Shmi Skywalker with Palpatine hovering over her back, initiating the birth of Anakin Skywalker. You could even see how she's pregnant and everything. So that's the very interesting thing here, is that we do know that Palpatine is going to have a large presence in this film, not just in the form of a spirit taking over the body of the Dark Acolyte and even Kylo Ren at one point in time, but also in the form of a holocron and visions and dream sequences, you name it. But in this particular scenario, this is Kylo Ren literally tapping into one of Palpatine's thoughts that are stored away within Palpatine's holocron that was actually somehow retrieved from one of the temples and or one of the vaults that belong to Palpatine himself. So what's really interesting about this is, like I say, this is the biggest indication so far out of all the other ones that we have gone over of Palpatine being the father of Anakin Skywalker. Now, yes, they went over this in the comics, but it seems like they're trying to transfer this over into live action, which honestly is really going to be a game changer, and we do know that Episode 9 is going to introduce tons of new types of Star Wars lore that fans have never seen before on the big screen that's going to change everything. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.